Matt Visor from the Boston Globe. He's going to be joining us in studio today. I don't have time to do an interview after the show or before the show. And we've got Al Jazeera flying into town to interview me. I'm on Ellen Combs' radio show. All that said, because I'm so afraid to be interviewed with that whole stunt ABC this week pulled that is still in newspapers every day. It's just, Alex Jones won't defend himself on Jade Helm, the coward. And now one of the Fox News, the Five Guys, says, oh, we're not going to have you on via tweets. In fact, I've got Joe Biggs printing them off right now. He's going to come in and talk about it because Joe's been tweeting back and forth with him. Staff reporter Joe Biggs, and former Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs. Now this particular Fox News 5 host wants to meet me at the corner of some street in New York City for a fist fight. You know, that was a joke about us getting in the ring, dumbass. But if you really want to, that's fine. But I do it legally and lawfully wherever they allow bare knuckles boxing. Okay, we can like fly to some third world country and have pay-per-view. I think we probably make about $10 million a piece. But you're too stupid to want to actually do that. You want to dance to the puppeteers' orders there at Fox News and make crap up. And I don't mean to diverse and to diverge off into side issues, and I apologize. But Matt Visor will be in studio. First, he said, oh, my editors won't let me interview you live. And I said, fine, we can't do it. So now he should get here in a few minutes. We'll see if that happens. And then they can interview me about imaginary Jade Helm, according to them, coming up. And like I told ABC News, Fox News, everybody, I stand ready anytime live. They've got scores of satellite uplinks downtown Austin. I am 110% ready to face you anytime, anywhere, any place. Live. L-I-V-E. L-I-V-E. Now, at this point, I'm just going to open my veins politically. You want to come tape stuff, go ahead too. But here's the proviso. And I was going to do this when I did a tape with them, but then they wouldn't respond. I'm going to tape it like I did once with CNN about 5 years ago when they didn't air it for Anderson Cooper. And I'm going to have a crew member there with a camera videotaping what I had to say. The CNN wouldn't let us jack in and record their questions, but we're going to have what I said, so when you don't air it or you edited it, we'll at least have that. And that's how this works. We are not going to let you play your sneaky, underhanded tricks anymore, you backbiting crew of scallywags. That's just how this works. We're done with you. We know you're not media. You're propagandist. And we are not backing down. We are not standing down. We are not going away. Now, weeks ago, we're having such victories against Monsanto. I had Nico start working on a...
Hey, Alex, I hate to interrupt. I just got a text from him. He said, Mr. Visor said, another editor was leery of this interview to go on the air, so he's backing out.
Now they'll say I backed out, though.
Yeah, now he's backed out.
Can we show the text without showing your phone number?
Yeah, I'll show you the text right here.
But listen, this is what I've told David Knight, and I've told you, and I'm telling myself now. So when I'm lecturing you, you're not bad. I'm telling myself this. We're going to shut down if we keep responding to all these reporters. I mean, hundreds of articles a day, dozens of requests a day. I'm so busy I can't even, do really important stuff like, have a phone call with Michael Savage. So we need to only go with the big interviews because we have to do this dance with all these reporters and all their little neurotic, OCD editors BS. So I just said they probably wouldn't show up. That's good. We're done. So I don't have time to talk to him now. We've already talked to him last night, this morning, gone through all these gesticulations. I told him I'd do a phone interview with him today when I'm in traffic driving home to pick my kids up. But that's it. We're done talking to him. Okay, they want to have a stand-up fight. We'll have it. But we're not going to play patty cake with these reporters. We'll be back. Big way. Because the public is investigating. The military is leaking vital information to the Republic. There is a battle for the future of this country and the world right now. If you go to Infowars.com, you can see the red link story. Video, Marines practice subduing citizens inside internment camp. It's linked on drudgereport.com on the right-hand side. under the headline, Texas landowners paid to give up property for troop training. But the Pentagon lied and said that it was volunteered beforehand. How asinine. Defiant rancher refuses to surrender home to the military. It continues, Marines practice subduing citizens inside internment camp. Here's another headline. Rogue military drone lands in man's backyard. Yes, my friends, we are not in Kansas anymore, as they say. And the other news just gets even more insane. It's hard to believe now that it's like a year ago that Jakari Jackson, Adon Salazar, and others went down to talk to our Border Patrol ICE connections, and boom. There it was, the video, the Border Patrol loading the illegals on the buses, giving them vouchers and busing them into the U.S. It took the New York Times 5 weeks to put in a story that indeed that was true. We got no credit for it. That's just a sensational story. Then the Border Patrol came out on Fox News and said, yes, we complete the smuggling process, close quote, the deputy head of the union. Quote, we complete the smuggling process. In fact, just search Border Patrol agent, we complete the smuggling process. We ought to cue that video up. Now, there is video, and WorldNet Daily has a story, DHS caught busing in Somalis from Mexican border. Directly from the main hotbed of ISIS recruiting in North Africa. You cannot make that up. You cannot. The U.S. is bringing in 100,000 Muslims every year through legal channels, such as the United Nations Refugee Program, but now there's a whole other secret program. And how do they bring all the illegals into England? Remember that secret program Tony Blair was involved in? I remember covering the secret program when it was coming out in the late 90s. People said, oh, there's not a secret program. He apologized for it 2 weeks ago. Because he's hated for it. So let me explain something. They're bringing in people from known terrorist hotbeds. But the Marines are training to take on the American people. And if I was allowed to get on controlled corporate brainwashing media, ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, Fox, if I was on the 5, I would just quote Eisenhower. We must guard in the councils of government against the unwarranted influence of the military-industrial complex, whether sought or unsought. He goes into the danger exist and will persist of a technological takeover by the elite. You have to read the whole quote. In fact, we've done this before, but I really want to just get it where we go into the whole speech. It's on PBS Online, it's on YouTube, and it's a 21-minute speech, but I want to get the whole part about the technological elite taking over and then how they control the military-industrial complex, because no one seems to know the first part. That's the most important part. In fact, if you pull up the text of Eisenhower's farewell address on screen, I can just read it word for word for people. Because, I mean, no wonder they can't debate me, but say I'm a coward on Fox to go on shows, and then they're not having me on. Or I won't go on ABC. And again, it's not about me. It's about their Decepticons, people. They are liars. Who believes I wouldn't want to go on those shows? It's just flabbergasted me. And we're now 4 days after it became a national news story that I'm chicken. And I've gotten, Nico, have we gotten any calls or emails today, since I asked yesterday, from ABC to have me on this Sunday? When
Negative.
Negative. And then they may just say I didn't show up next week again. I mean, why not? MSNBC says that I influenced the Boston bombers, then show no proof. How about I ran the Holocaust? How about I crucified Christ? How about I blew up the Lusitania? Not a German U-boat. Not a wolf pack. They found the Eisenhower speech do me a favor, Control F technological. Now there's the quote, in the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. Yeah, but now Control F technological or elite, and then you'll get the part about the takeover. Yeah, there you go. And if technological's in there a bunch, you just keep hitting enter on the F and it'll search to the point. There it is. Yet in holding scientific research and discovery in respect, as we should, we must also be alert to the equal and opposite danger that the public policy could itself become the captive of a technological elite. And then he goes on to how it's the task of statesmen to not allow elites to use super technology to brainwash and dumb down the public or to game the economy. And everything we see today, a high-quality steak 6-7 years ago was $25 in a decent steakhouse. It was $45 2-3 years ago. It was $60 6 months ago. The exact same steak at the exact same steakhouse that I've been going to for 10 years was $89 last night. And, you know, I had the money to buy it, but I'd give that to charity or something for it. It was obnoxious. So I got a hamburger. And I was sitting there talking to my friend who I was out with, a couple of friends, and they said, man, we ought to get in the cattle business. And I said, no, no, no. Cattle business is going bankrupt right now at record levels. My family's in the cattle business. It's all actuaried and gamed out by 3 major packing companies that used the FDA in the last 20 years to shut down all the small packers. So they have a monopoly at the buying now to buy the beef at record low prices and then sell it to you at record high prices. And then you add inflation in as well, and a $25 steak in 5-6 years is $89. $89. That's the technocracy. That's AI. That's computers gaming everything. That's a screw job. And that's what it's doing to productivity. This stuff could send us to the stars. They've already had in the 50s plans, and they've tested them in computer systems with space elevators. We could already have space elevators. Do you know what you could do with a space elevator? I mean, they could build a city in space in a year. They could have huge space bases built in Earth orbit and be launching them. But no. We're going to use technology to screw ranchers over. What a wonderful elite we have. What a fabulous group we have. And then, meanwhile, I've got to have hundreds of reporters calling us every week wanting to do fake interviews. By fake, it's like I'm a prop, like they talk to me. They won't actually quote me. Or they'll take something out of context. They just want to make their readers think they talk to us. And then other reporters call me back and they go, well, I did a fair interview and they won't let me publish it now. Exactly. So I'll only do live TV or live radio. I will not sit here and play games anymore. That way I can have the Boston Globe reporter in here. You'll hear the real interview. They can write their imaginary piece. We can compare them. That's why the editors won't put their people in here. Now, when we come back, the bombshell information, just everyday new documentation, video after video. Marines training to put Americans in camps. We have the footage. It's bombshell. It's on Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com, DrudgeReport.com. It's a war between reality and fraud. Eric Bolling has been tweeting at Infowars, basically saying he wants to meet me in a parking lot and fight, and that I'm full of it, and that our latest article, Marines practice subduing citizens inside internment camp, he's like, no, it's subduing terrorists. Yes, under your definition, Eric, it's true. Tea Party, gun owners, veterans, Christians. Do you understand, Bolling? Your viewers can go read Forbes, AP, and hundreds of other publications where